Hi, my name is Skye Curren, and I'm an editor at the Courant. If you've noticed the signs hanging around the school, you might know that there's a new club at the school, the Confidence Club, which was created in response to some of the problems students notice here. Low confidence, especially in girls, body image, and stress. Today I'm here with Naomi, Cimino, Emma Uzgiris, and Emma Freetman. And Naomi is the president and creator of the Confidence Club. Naomi is the vice president of the club, and Ms. Freetman is the teacher advisor of the club and the kids and crisis counselor. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about why and how the club was created?
So I created the club because I know I've always struggled with body image, and I did a program over the summer, and last year in English I did a research paper on body image in the media, and I found that it's a prevalent issue, especially with kids in our age group, and especially the younger kids, and I really wanted to do something in my community to help, and I found that that's something I know a lot of people need to work on, and to create a club where there's a space that we can talk about it and bring up those issues, I think that's the ideal way to address the problem.
So why did you choose, why did you guys can talk about this too, why did you choose Ms. Freetman and Emma?
So, as some of you know, if you've created a club, you have to go to Mr. Rothman, and he was like, so who are you thinking about as an advisor? And I was like, I don't really know. And he's like, I know the perfect person. Why don't you set up a meeting with her and see if your ideas about what you want to do is similar. So I met with Ms. Freetman, and we both had the same kind of idea, and she actually helped refine what I wanted to do to be more encompassing and more available to the class. And then I know Emma, who's been a good friend of mine for many years, also is just one of the most confident people I know, but she also is very well versed in leading and understanding what people need, so I knew she'd be a great VP.
You guys have been good co-leaders.
Yeah, I just jumped on board because I'm a huge advocate for mental health awareness, so yeah, I thought it was a great message.
So in your guys' view, what is confidence? What is the Confidence Club doing? What do you consider confidence? And is it are you guys addressing anything other than what confidence is?
So we're definitely addressing multiple issues, but as in the name, it's primarily self-confidence and self-esteem. So I would define the self-confidence our club is trying to create is the confidence to be yourself and be happy with who you are and not need to feel like you have to change yourself, and that you can be confident in your actions and what you're putting forth into the world.
And on that, I think talking about how stress and comparing yourself to others are really intertwined. We just had a meeting on that last week. That's definitely a big topic for us, especially people in New Canaan. I think that's a huge part of it.
So to kind of add on to that, one thing that came up earlier when we talked was this kind of idea of a stress culture. Can you guys explain a little bit more about that? What that is? And
so, especially in this school, we're constantly looking to the future and looking at our grades, how we look on paper, what we are, how do we improve ourselves, how do we beat the person next to us, and that creates a stress culture of where you're constantly pressuring yourself to do better and compete. And so it's self-imposed stress on constantly feeling inadequate. And so I think that's part of what the stress culture is just pressure on pressure on yourself. I don't know, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that it's kind of developed into its own entity where now it's you compete with others to see who's more stressed because the lack of sleep that you're getting or the amount of notes that you had to do or something, that becomes kind of a measurement of how much you're achieving at school. So I think that the stress culture has become how hard are you really trying, which I think is something that we're going to try and swing away from at our club. Yeah.
I think you guys did a good job of that in our last meeting where we addressed sort of the competitive nature of your peers and, to your point, Emma, how hard are you working, and it's almost validated by how stressed out are you. So I think you guys did a good job last time of examining, okay, what can we do to combat that when we're feeling very stressed and it's affecting self-esteem and confidence? What can I do instead? And kind of having a conversation about Zooming. what do I do when I don't feel very confident?
I know we talked a little bit in our most recent meeting about finding like the little things and finding your victories, I think is really big. Like being able to set attainable goals, and then once you achieve those goals, you're validating yourself. And instead of just having this large, ambiguous goal in your future, like I want to get into the perfect college. Like, so what is that perfect college? Like go one step at a time. Because I think this is in one of my classroom, a goal without a plan is a wish. And so once you have those little steps and you accomplish them, I think that is really big towards reducing your stress, because you can just, look one step ahead. Don't look at the mountain. So
It's very nice.
my little quotes of the day.
One of the things we kind of talked about is like the idea of a target demographic. Would you guys like to kind of talk a little bit more about that?
So I'd say Confidence Club is open to all, but it's tend to be focused on the female side of our school, because mostly all of our members are female. And I think especially talking about body image and self-confidence, I know because I'm a girl and I know more of what like the girls are feeling. I know it's a huge stressor, especially on top of school, about like how you put yourself together, what are you wearing to school, like how much are you exercising. So I think that kind of limits the demographic a lot.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to get a male or non-binary perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
important.
think that our female audience right now is like our target just as of right now, purely because we focus on the like female issues, I think, more than anything, and it also makes our community feel really safe. I think that a lot of girls, like especially younger freshman girls, for example, are really comfortable coming to our club meeting because like it's a safe space. But yeah, I think that we definitely are involving guys our age. We're trying to get them aware and into it. So hopefully when we start doing more like school-wide events, they'll be happy to support.
And I know that I've talked to some guys about it, and one guy in particular was like, that's actually a thing. So I think it needs to become more established as a club to be almost more like for them to feel it's okay to come.
Yeah. One of the reasons that we actually decided to do this story was because of the confidence gap, which is like the confidence gap between boys and girls, where girls typically have less confidence than boys. Can you talk about like a little bit about that, and maybe why you think that girls typically have worse confidence than boys?
I think there's a huge, like if you, just like a historical reason why. It's because typically women have been seen as inferior and expected to do, if not more, in a sense that they are obligated to serve somebody else and be perfect and be everything that like from a young age they were taught to be. So I think that idea of there's a perfect image you need to attain creates an even more lack of self-confidence and more stress. For a guy, I think it's been more ambiguous of what they have to be. It's been very open throughout history.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of the reason why there's a difference.
I think also like a lot of girls are confident when they're really true to who they are, but maybe just part of culture is for girls to kind of shy away from expressing themselves as they want to be. So I think that's definitely, confidence exists in everyone. I really believe that, but I think maybe just having to stick to whatever social norms is kind of stifling that for a lot of people.
One of the things you guys talked about in the meeting I came to was going to the middle school and talking with like younger girls and like meeting with them. Could you guys talk a little bit about that and why you think it's important?
So when I first came up with the idea for the club, I knew I wanted to create almost like a mentorship, not just for the upper class with the lower class of the high school, but for us as a club to go mentor the younger middle school age children, because I know that's when it starts. Like your body's changing, and middle school girls can be mean, and there's bullying, and there's this, even if not more stress at that time, to be, like I said, like this perfect picture in your head. And so if we could go talk to them and give them tips then, before you create the stress culture begins, you can really like kind of address the problem at the root of it.
Yeah, I think that's huge, really true, that I feel like once you get to high school, for a lot of people, you're kind of much more comfortable with who you think you're going to be, or kind of the path that you're on. Where I think it feels more self-explanatory. Maybe you're just busy worrying about like school all the time. So yeah, I think that reaching out to younger girls is really important, because that's like a really difficult age to be who you want to be. I think that that's an age where you see something on social media and you're like, yeah, that's like what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and that's not who I am. So yeah, I think that those girls really deserve like more attention in terms of confidence, and also just like in terms of handling stress, and maybe letting them know that high school is not horrifyingly like scary all the time. Yeah.
I think coming from a counseling perspective, prevention is a huge piece of what I like to do. And I think along with what Naomi and Emma are saying, putting those preventative measures in place for the middle schoolers before they get to the high school. So you have an opportunity to get an idea of what every day is like in the high school, and maybe get the perspective from you guys on what's been tough and what's been really great about being in high school. I think to Emma's point, the stress, the school actually has been, or the school district, has been really receptive to giving the middle schoolers some tools to reducing their stress. I don't know if you guys remember the stress less groups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when we were talking about it the other day, that's sort of where my mind went, where it was, okay, it could be something similar to stress less, or a similar sort of conversation where, what are you experiencing and what can we do to help?
What kind of culture would the Confidence Club like to see at the school?
Oh, I would definitely like to see a culture where you're not constantly comparing people. I know it's hard. I know I do it, even though I recognize it's bad. But to establish with the incoming freshmen or the current freshmen that that's not what you have to do. Compare yourself to what you want to be, not what the other people are being, and be honest with who you are and what you can achieve, and to just see people that are confident and not hiding away from themselves. That would be huge.
Yeah, I agree. People who are not afraid to be themselves, like a culture where we can appreciate, not all stress is bad stress, but a place where we can appreciate some benefits of the competitive nature, and that it's really driving a lot of us forward to do great things, but also people who are not afraid to take time as a break, or not afraid to not to add to the stress culture by self-deprecating jokes or whatever. Yeah, I think that's a really big thing.
Is there anything you guys would like to plug?
Our Instagram.
Yes.
Yes.
NCHS_confidence club _.
We do daily confidence quotes, promote our club. It's great.
We post updates on when our meetings will be, which our next meeting will be Thursday, December 12th. 13th. I don't even know it. Yeah, so come, definitely. It'd be great. There's always food, and it's in room 201 typically, which is the health room.
Thursday the 13th in the health room.
Yes.
Thank you so much.